You know, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise, like a lot. So, I bet I can tell what kind of person you are based on what weapon you decide to hunt with. Grab your palicos and palamutes and get ready for some video game fortune telling. Sword and Shield, not the Pokemon game. If you use Sword and Shield, you're lame. Pick a better weapon. No, I'm just kidding. That might have been true in older Monster Hunter games, but Rise makes some big changes. That means the Sword and Shield and the people who use them are much cooler now. If you pick the Sword and Shield to take out on a hunt, you probably like to stay mobile, ready to move and jump into action with a moment's notice. But you also probably like to play it safe. Oh, and you probably also enjoy wrestling, or at least you probably love that there's the new elbow drop move with the shield. Just saying. Heavy and light bowgun users seem like they might be jerks when you first meet them, but they're actually some of the nicest people you'll meet. You'll hardly ever see them because they're always far away from all the action, but that doesn't mean they've abandoned you. They're always watching over and protecting you, providing support and cover fire when you really need it, and in the case of the heavy bowgun users, big booms. They're also really well organized because they have to juggle a bunch of different ammo types. Bow. If you use a bow, you just love looking cool. You have all the flashy moves, you probably have some cool clothes, and everyone who sees you think, wow, that is a cool dude. But you're afraid to face your problem. You attack from just far enough that you know you're out of reach, but the second something can hurt you, you run away. But hey, you do still look really cool. Charge Blade. Oh, Charge Blade users. Let's take a look at the tutorial of this weapon. Everyone knows the Charge Blade is overly complex to the point of confusion, but you still decide to put in the hours and hours and hours to learn the ins and outs and how to use it properly. That means you have great dedication and determination, and it pays off. People watch you do something they think is stupid, and you look like you're bad at it until you aren't anymore. Then, you're the coolest person in the room, and everyone looks up to you, whether they want to admit it or not. And you know what else cool people do? They hit that subscribe button. Switch axe. What else can I say about the switch axe except hack slash, boom, boom, pow? You're basically the opposite of the bow user. You laugh in the face of fear and you get right up in danger's face and whack it until your stamina bar is empty, but that's not all. You're so aggressive that you can strike fear into the things everyone else is afraid of. Everybody around you is glad to have you on their team and is very afraid of getting on your bad side. Dual blades. You are a weeb. Okay, I'll go deeper. If you use dual blades as your primary, you have ADHD and watch anime. Hitting the ura with the dual blades is awesome every time, and so is the Captain Levi spinning moves special. But you also can't sit still. You're going into demon mode, zipping around with your arms behind you like Naruto, and you're just generally difficult to manage. You do great DPS though, and so we keep you around. Longsword. If you go into every hunt with a longsword strapped to your back, you also watch way too much anime. Hey, no shame in it, we all are there. You're an unapologetic weeb and you are obsessed with the delayed slash parry move that looks like it came right out of Rurouni Kenshin or Demon Slayer. But at least you aren't a crackhead like dual blade users. You're focused, calm, and in control. Just like every anime protagonist you idolize. You're basically one slash man, which is cool. Just please stop calling everyone senpai, and for the love of all things merciful, stop staggering your teammates. Great sword users, you can't hide behind that impossibly huge weapon. I see you. I know you watch anime too, but you're cool about it, and you're buff, like really buff. You saw Cloud Strife hoist his Buster Sword onto his shoulder when you were a kid and decided that is what you were gonna do. You wanted to dedicate your life to being able to pick up huge things and make it look easy, or at least you wanted to play that character. You also have great patience and timing because you know exactly when to block and how long a charged attack will take to reach maximum strength right before you take a hit. That true charged slash is also pretty nifty too. Lance users are kind of like bow users, but both better and worse in different ways. They don't like confrontation, so their weapon is a long stick that they can poke things with from a distance, and they're afraid of judgment, so they have a little baby shield to protect them. The good thing about Lance users is that they get their strength from their friends, or having a group of people around them at least. If you get a Lancer hyped up, they'll charge into battle, long pokey stick outstretched and tiny baby shield raised. For this reason, they're usually a great contributor to a group effort, but if they're by themselves, it's a yawn fest. Poke, poke, sidestep, poke, 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 sidestep, poke, rinse, repeat. Gunlance. You would think that a Lance user and a Gunlance user would be kind of the same, but you're actually wrong. A Lance user is kind of a chicken unless they have people around them, but a Gunlance user is like a honey badger in that don't give a They had a cousin hold their head so they were just out of swinging distance one too many times, and now they're out for revenge. So yeah, they have the same long pokey stick and shield as a Lancer, but their lance has a freaking gun in it. They relive that childhood trauma every time, but they use that pokey stick to create the same kind of distance, and now they can say, "Got you," and explode their lance while it's poked inside a target. In short, Gunlance users are kind of unhinged and scary and kind of have some pent-up childhood trauma, and are you okay? Hammer. Hit big dino with bonk. Swing big hammer. Hunter strong. Sword and shield users do little bonks with their shields, and those are okay, but hammer users, they love big bonks, and they cannot lie. All the other weapons in Monster Hunter users have some kind of strategy attached to them. Nah. But with a hammer, you can really just walk up to anything and smash it on the head. Bonk works every time. 60% of the time, it works every time. So if you use a hammer, you don't care too much to think or strategize, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not about to argue with you when you're holding a 500-pound chunk of metal on a stick, and oh god, it's even bigger up close. Hunting horn users stand next to hammer users like they're the same, but they aren't. They have a deep love of music, but have probably found that the only way they can get their friends to listen to their new hit is probably playing it in Monster Hunter. When songs on the hunting horn gives the whole party buffs, you have to listen, or else you're gonna pay for it, compared to the other way around, where if they don't listen, you're just gonna shame them, and that's really just then a question of your friendship. But that also means you're extremely helpful and an expert strategist, planning out and timing which notes you have to play in order to use that magnificent trio. I just wish there were more than 2 of you out there. Insect Glaive. I don't know what you're doing up there, but it looks impressive. I just really hope you're hitting something. Have you ever seen one of those kids who go out in public wearing a Spider-Man costume or pretend like they're web-slinging and crawling all over the place? Or maybe you were that kid? Well anyways, those kids either grew up to become Cirque du Soleil performers, or they became Insect Glaive users. Insect Glaive users are highly acrobatic and love running and jumping around. They're also not afraid of bugs. Insect Glaive users are kind of freaks, honestly, but they've got a heart of gold. And they look really cool soaring through the air, so hey, there's that. Thank you guys for listening. My name is Kino, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button below.